It numbs you, a nightmare, a horrible disease. These are just a few of the ways people have described mental illness in their lives. Whether it's you, your child, or a friend, mental illness impacts all of us in the same ways, and that's why the Mindspace podcast is committed to uncovering mental illness and the impact it has.
Welcome to the Mindspace podcast. I'm your host, Fahad bin Mohammed, and with me today I have the lovely Debbie, a woman who I've come to know with so much strength and character. Today we're going to be talking about weight, or being overweight, or another term, obesity, which carries some stigma to it, but we'll break it down through her story. So I'll let you introduce yourself to us.
I'm Deborah Nalule. I've been overweight. Actually, I've been overweight for a really long time. Since I was young, I've been overweight. But 6 years ago, around 6 years ago, in 2015, 6 years ago, I had to embark on a weight loss journey, and I had to get rid of some weight, I decided to give my health a priority, and so I've lost weight for over 6. I've not been overweight for 6 years. I've been normal, and I've been able to sustain the weight loss. So, and I'm now able to help other people to lose weight through my own experience.
Yeah.
And so basically I'm like a weight loss coach.
This is
So
a
that's
profession,
Debbie.
side business.
No, that's what I do.
That's what you do?
This is what I do day in, day out. This is my occupation. That's what I do. I love it.
You will get into that more, but let's first start with Debbie. Who is Debbie? Is she, what tribe are we?
She's a Muganda.
She's a Muganda. So you started 6 years ago, that was 2015. So let's start with the whole general description of being overweight. Is basically there are very many factors that can lead to being overweight. There's poor feeding habits.
Basically, it's poor feeding habits.
There's genetic predisposition. I think you can understand if inherently, if in your family you're big, if your parents are large and suspect about such things, then
I wouldn't say because the whole family is large, you can go away with it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we are all different. Yeah. Some people gain weight more than others.
Yeah.
You eat the same meal, then this other person is like very small, but the others are gaining weight. And I was in that category of, I can't say really I was eating small, but it was very easy for me to gain weight. And I was born around 4.5 kgs, from what my mom says. And I've been progressively big. Like, I've grown up big. I've been big for around 24 years.
you were big
23, around 24 years. For all my first 24 years,
So
I was big.
for you, majorly, you attributed it to poor feeding habits.
It is poor. I cannot say I was eating healthy.
Yeah.
But no one, again, at my age was eating healthy.
I mean, it's not African, African diet. We can't say it's entirely healthy. So when you say you are
I have to say, I ate like everyone else. It's just that I'm the one who grew big, but also I ate a lot. Like, in terms of portions, I can say I really used to pile on the food. Some people really used to kind of control, but I wasn't controlling. I was a big foodie also. I cannot
you
deny.
loved the food, yeah.
Yes, I did.
So basically, yours is attributed to poor feeding habits.
Poor feeding habits and a lot of laziness. I couldn't even walk. I was very lazy. Yeah, basically it was poor feeding habits, laziness, but I think a bit of genetical, considering it was very easy for me to gain weight. I'm sure there are people who ate as much as I did, but it's me who gained.
So when you say it was genetic, it was very easy for you to gain weight. Is it because in your family there are weight issues as well?
We are not small.
Yeah.
But if you put in the work, they lose. My mom was big. Eventually, she lost the weight. I've lost the weight. If you put in the effort, like any other person, go to the gym, work out, eat healthy, you will lose the weight. There's no thing like, if you put in the effort, you're still going to have the same condition, Yeah. So we have some medium-sized but we don't have small people. I
So-
have to say, we are either medium or big.
So the genetics came into play, your poor feeding habits came into play. So this cumulated into being what you were for those first 25 years of your life.
Yes.
So when did you first, because I'm guessing 4.5 pounds?
kgs at birth.
Is a heavy baby.
That's a heavy baby.
That's a
yeah.
heavy baby. So when did you first notice internally that, okay, I am a bit heavy? Because there's you going
That
to
I'm not like any other
Yeah,
person.
you're not like any other person, because there's going to school, like primary. I'm guessing in primary is when you might have had a realization.
But even, there's that age when being chubby is sweet. You look chubby, everyone wants you the chubby baby. But I started noticing that it's not okay. I started noticing it's not okay. Like in P4, like at 10 years, I started noticing I'm different. Obviously, people would run and I'm like out of breath.
Yeah.
So, everyone else was small. I was among the big girls and we were not that many. We were like 3. So, if you're 3, then you're the ones who are off.
By that time, the child has started knowing what is what, who is
Yeah.
who. Yeah.
So we are like 3 big girls, and then the rest are all small, really small. There's not even medium.
Primary small,
They are not medium. So yeah, that's when I noticed that I'm different, but still I got away with it because I was still young. And even my mom, she takes you to the pediatrician. She's like, the first thing they do is stand on the weighing scale. Okay, she's a little bit out. With time, she'll lose the weight. That's what the doctor is going to say. With time, as she grows,
This
with
was
school.
you in P4?
Yeah, and I was in boarding. They are hoping boarding school is going to trim you,
down.
but I was not trimming.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the doctor, they be like, but she'll lose weight with time. No worries, no worries. But you keep hearing. It's not like at 10 years you can't hear that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started knowing that I'm different around that time. That is not a good thing. Before I was the chubby sweet girl, and then eventually it's turning out not to be a good thing. Yeah.
So P4, you notice, okay, now I'm a bit heavier than most of my people. Was it the weight that took you to the doctor, or just those random visits?
The random, like you have malaria, then you go and then they check the weight.
Yeah. So did that ever affect you? Because
At that age, not really.
yeah.
No, I was just frustrated that I couldn't run as fast. I couldn't really participate in sports. I did not participate in any sports. Yeah, so that's the frustration. There's no one going to tell you go and do sack race. There's no one going to tell you go and be an athlete and run. You're not going to swim. There's nothing you're going to do. You're just going to be an overseer and you're going to cheer on the rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the frustrating bit is that, I wasn't as active as other people. But I was lazy, to take some blame. I was lazy. I wasn't.
So you finished primary.
Then went into secondary. Now
Still
that's when
this
you feel
chubby-
it.
We
No,
still-
no. There is no chubby sweet in secondary.
No, I'm saying because now you finish as chubby sweet, okay, still with your reservations at the top of your primary game, it's okay.
Yeah, then you
Now-
go to VAC and then you gain really the
VAC weight.
the VAC weight. And then clothes. No, the clothes challenge came in as early as 6 years. It was so hard for me to get clothes to put on.
Yeah.
It is so hard. Like we used, those things of buying Christmas clothes? You go and you look shop to shop.
Yeah.
Eventually, I remember there's a Christmas where I got tired. And I'm like, Mom, why don't you just buy for me the ones like you bought for my brother, Like I just put on shorts and a shirt.
Yeah.
I got so tired of looking for a dress that fits me. And then the ones that fit me is like, they were like for 15-year-olds.
But this was
normal
you at
girls.
6.
Yeah. I found a challenge with clothes. That was a big challenge on my side. I was putting on, I put on a dress. The dress I was wearing, yet I was 10, looked like I was 15. It was for a 15-year-old girl, yet I'm just 10. That one is a challenge I had. It's not that I just got exhausted of looking for the dresses. I even would tell mommy, go look, bring me the dresses. I'm not going to go shopping with you. And from then on, I've never loved shopping. I'm not one of those people who go, let's go shopping for clothes. I didn't like it because it was a struggle for me. You go and then the ladies are like, oh, she's big. Let's get the biggest size. It's not fitting.
But this is a
Let's get for the 12 year.
girl.
It's not fitting. And then you're like, yeah. So that one, I felt it when it came to looking for clothes. That was a big one. That was the challenge I had at that age.
Yeah. So you leave primary. You've already gotten the experience of the clothes. When you're 6. By 10, the doctor is already telling you your beats. But the exceptions because you're young.
Yeah.
But it has not yet really taken that toll on you psychologically.
Not
though,
much.
Though it's still registering a bit.
Yeah, it is there that you're different.
Yeah.
That is the part.
I actually relate with that because even I struggled with weight growing up. I was chubby. As you can see my physique. I had no problem gaining weight very fast. And growing up now I was a boy, but I was so fat that I didn't even feel like a boy, the masculine side of me, it didn't register, so I was really insecure. But we'll get into that later. So this is you in secondary. Which secondary? Was it a single or?
It was a single girls' school, Mount St. Mary's, Namagunga.
Sister Seraphine?
I found their Sister Justine Paul, then Sister Seraphine came.
Oh, so you were there for 6 years, 4 years?
4 for O-level.
O-level. How did...
Now, in Namagunga, I think Namagunga has the smallest, tiniest girls in Uganda. They were small. And then, the skirts you put on from up these ends, like, how they're up this side. So, your time is all visible. Blue is for HSC. The rest of us had different colors. So I went there. Okay, Namagunga, nobody really attacked me there. People low-key laugh, Now let me talk about the challenges in O-level. In O-level, the first one I had was, we had this like a dining table. They put 2 different saucepans. Then there were 2 of us in each class. So there was self-service. So they put let me say it's matoke and beans. Now I was eating a lot. So I sat on the table, and then I think, I was a little bit inconsiderate, I have to confess. I served half of the matoke. For the whole table, remember, were 9. I took half of it and I put it on my plate. Then the girls started laughing. They're like, finish. Eat it all. We are going to get more. Yeah. So, and then I've served myself first. Then I'm okay. I added myself. Then they went and got more in the saucepan. But when they were serving themselves, I realized their portions were so little. They were little. Yeah. Even now, you cannot eat them. So I was like, my God, I literally ate. I felt that, I overeat.
Yet maybe you might have been eating.
This was my portion. Yeah. This was what I ate, but this is not what they were eating. Yeah. So, the HSCs on my table, I saw them laughing. And then eventually, so I settled down to let everyone serve themselves first. Whatever remains is what I'll take. So that no one laughs. No one is going to be like, I ate all the food on the table. Yeah. So that was the first time I felt it. Then the second time, those performances at school.
Which ones?
The ones, the school performances, let me say YCS, they are coming. The functions, right?
Where the boys come.
Yeah, the boys come, and then you have to perform. Yeah. So, people are practicing for Rihanna's Pondery play. At that time, I was in S2. Yeah. I was like, guys, I want to join. I used to the other girls almost came when they knew the whole dance routine. Mm-hmm. You could see, they always were shifting. Mine wasn't. And someone was like, man, Debbie. They didn't even say, it's not that they booted me out because of the weight, but I think the weight...
You got the message.
Yeah, I felt like the weight was a hindrance. I think I could have learned as early, and I could have been as flexible, and I really did want to perform.
I'm so sorry for laughing.
It is true. I did want to perform.
You did want to.
I did. I wanted to be part of the group. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that was the adolescent. Yeah. I needed to impress. So, but then, the practice went on. They're like, belly roll, belly. I'm like, man, I couldn't even belly roll. And I was like, They're like, Debbie, you're lagging behind. You're not learning as fast. Yeah. And we have 3 days to the function. You're like, man, let me just leave.
Your routine,
Ekoya. So I was like, let me leave. Then I'm like, probably. And, all the girls who performed were really, they were small. They were slim. You could see the bone shift from side to side. There is no way you could see the bones on me. There was nothing bone on me. So I was like, I think even if I learned the routine, I wasn't going to really nail it. I wasn't going to be like the outstanding performer on stage. I was
But you
probably
would
going
have
to
stood
take it
out.
as the big
The one
person.
who's taking long to move.
Probably,
Yeah,
but yeah, I wouldn't have done. So I left it at that. So I think that's when it hit me, like, it starts to hit you that you're big and it's not a good thing and it's an issue. And also the sports, I did most of the cheering on in O level. So, but being a single girls school and a school where they instill a lot of confidence, not based on your size, based on your brains. We were all about the books.
Yeah.
Perform, or whether you're big, you could perform. Size has nothing to do with your brains. If you're clever, you're clever. And that's what, so you could go away with it. I felt like I didn't feel it much, as apart from, okay, people just used to laugh, but like, let me say they used to measure us for the skirts, and the skirts come, and then people
Yours
are
is a
like,
special order.
yeah, mine is like, everyone used to come like, what is your hip size? Theirs is like 30, 32, and mine is like all the way to like 50. They're like, damn, Debbie, it is so big. I'm like, yeah, that's it. But then I felt it in O level, because it was in A level when I went to Namgongo. There I felt the pinch, because it was a mixed school. For some reason, I wanted the attention. Actually, I have to confess, I did want the attention of the boys. There is no guy who came out and said, because of your weight, I cannot approach you. But I started, it came to me like it could be. Is it a possibility?
Is it because this is after you're
mixed school.
established or before you're established in the school? There's
Like,
now
it hit me the moment I reached. I wanted their attention, and
Oh,
I
you
felt
got
like
their-
I could get their attention if I was smaller. I felt like maybe I got attention, obviously, because I was big, but not like
The attention
that
you wanted.
attention. Yes.
So if you are that typical Namagonga girl who would have gone to Namugongo in that smallness,
Yeah,
you would have gotten the boys.
definitely. Of course, the rounds I came with from Namagunga, they did get the attention. But me, I was like, I was just, I got it like your loud personality. I got it because of the personality, not because of,
Never about the body.
it wasn't like, let me date you kind of thing. It was, yo, Debbie, you're so kind. You understand.
Inner beauty.
Inner beauty. Yeah. And then I also felt, so I started hitting me. Now I started doing things to myself, actually.
In school?
Yeah, in school.
What kind of things? Positive, bad?
Negative. So that I could lose the weight.
No.
So, of course, there is grab. They bring you grab at school. Then I stopped taking the grab. I started really eating the portion, the beans, thinking, I could lose weight.
Yeah.
I stopped eating the canteen food. I mean, I took away some luxuries from myself, which I don't think I should have.
At that time, looking back on the experience.
I mean, I stopped buying myself chips and chicken at the canteen. I was really dedicated to the rice, the beans, the posho, the beans, the school food.
Yeah.
I started, as much as I was generous, with the grab and everything, but now I didn't, like, of course, my mom, despite her being worried about my weight, she still bought the milk.
Yeah.
And should buy the big sizes, like 1 liter boxes, like a carton. She was dedicated to the grab. So, but I started giving it away and really drinking water. And then, still, anyway, the weight didn't go.
This is after your 6 years.
No, this is me in like S5.
Senior 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still did not go. I didn't see it shifting. So I started this thing of, I think, then I got sick, like bacteria. I got a bacterial infection, then I got diarrhea, and then I noticed like my stomach had reduced go. And obviously the biggest issue is always the stomach. So now I went and started telling the nurse that I have constipation. Now, constipation medicine is automatically going to make you get diarrhea. Yeah. So that's what happened to me. So I would go, I'm not even having constipation. I say I'm having constipation. She gives me the meds. I take like every day, like I'm on diarrhea, like, until I started like...
Senior 5?
Senior 5. I had that habit. I would get diarrhea, bad diarrhea. And then get so dehydrated. It's not, I don't even think I lost any weight. Fine, the stomach looked a little bit smaller, but
It wasn't worth it.
yeah, I got dehydrated and I was taking very tough subjects. I was doing mathematics, physics. And then you go to class, I could barely hold a pen. Like I was out of it. I wasn't okay. I was dehydrated. You could see it that I was pale and dehydrated.
So you directed yourself to dehydration. Which is grave because you see, people have one bout of dehydration and they wouldn't want to have it again.
And I don't even think it's good to take laxatives, like those medicines for a long time, especially even if it's not necessary,
No, yours
I
was
think
completely uncalled for.
yeah, I think they have side effects.
Yeah.
So I told mommy, like she came, and my cascade, there's how it looked a little bit big now. Like there was space and I was starting to feel happy. She came and I'm like, I told her, she's like, no, you can't do that. She's like, you will fail.
Yeah.
Like you will fail badly at school.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. That one I stopped a little bit. Now S6, there is this livers party. It's like Sosh, prom, whatever. The livers party. Of course I wanted a livers date. I resumed that method. Again, I did the whole diarrhea thing. I wanted a date so badly. Everyone was getting a date. And I wanted one. Everyone, the couples were really big couples. They were jazzing. You're like, I do want to have a date on like livers. Although, it was just inside. I did not tell anyone like I wanted a date. Now when I tell my OGs then, they're like, really? You did that?
It didn't seem like you were on that wavelength.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm okay going by myself. But I think I wasn't okay with that. So I did do that again. And still, I didn't get the date anyway. And I still failed miserably with the weight loss. And of course, dehydration, as in, still, at the end of the day, I still want to pass. It's not like I wanted to fail. At that moment, it became more priority than the weight.
Yeah.
But then there's this thing where girls sat down to talk about the most beautiful girls.
Yeah.
That's when it hit me. Like, I felt bad. They talked, they were, top 10 most beautiful girls. They are like, they named it. Debbie would be if she wasn't fat. And then it came to me somehow. The word reached me. And I was like, okay, really? I didn't think like someone looks ugly because they are big. Like ugly? No.
Yeah.
So that one, I felt bad. Up to now, it's something that still comes to my mind. Like, I couldn't be top 10. Not that I wanted to be top 10, but I didn't think it can hinder someone from being over the most beautiful or whatever. Like, you're not even in the beautiful category because of that.
Beauty to a certain...
To a size.
To a size. Don't you think that's like a reflection of society?
It is. I don't think it has really reached Uganda much, but... It is, like outside?
Actually, just even here in Uganda, because the same thing they told you is we try to link the slim, just like the model industry. They're all very small, petite. Okay,
the truth is,
women.
Even in Uganda it is.
Yes.
The moment people see you, it's like, you're fat, like, you've gained weight. With the face of, you look bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think even it is, they equate beauty to size. There is a little bit of that.
Because even when you talk
there's
about...
no one who's going to be like, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yet even when they say you're beautiful, they're going to be like, despite her being big, she's beautiful. Like, why are you putting the despite?
The size,
you're removing the compliment from the person. So yeah, it is. And also, most of the torture when you're big is from other people.
Yeah.
It's not really so much of yourself. Okay, other than you feeling like you're not walking as fast, it's the comparisons, the what you hear in your ears. The moment you step foot out of the house, the border men jazzing for you. Then you go meet your friends. They're like, man, from the last time I saw you, Debbie, it's like you've gained weight. Yeah. Then also, your relatives also. It's the words just, it reaches a point and you're like, I don't want to go out.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at myself in them. It's the people who remind you that you're big. You may even fail to notice that you're really that different, but, the words, they torture you. Anybody telling you, man, you've gained weight, like you're like a balloon. And people are so mean with those words. Like, you're ballooning, you know. So basically, most of the torture is from other people.
Yeah.
I wish people could be a little bit kind. Sometimes you find people are actually trying to lose the weight.
Yeah.
But then you come and say, man, it's like, why you've even gained, you know. So they even stop trying. They're like, in fact, like, why am I dying?
Yeah,
And
so
just stay the way
back to what we were saying, the whole reflection of society. Just like you were in Namagunga and these girls were eating those small portions of food. Is that like a reflection of society? I mean, we have people who take girls out for lunch, and
I feel like when I look back, I'm like, why were they eating so little?
Yeah.
I don't think it was good
yeah,
that they ate so little. I don't think it was even good for their health.
yeah,
You know, they ate so little. Like, that one is part of... Namagunga girls love to be small. They loved to be small, especially HSCs. I'm not shocked that it's them who loved. I think because that's where there's...
is that where the pressure is? Because I think now from the feminine perspective, the whole linking the size to beauty.
But even the way people look at you, it is all there. Even at school, you know, it's there. You feel it, like you're big. Someone didn't have to tell you you're big. The look is enough. I think in Gungas, it was mostly the look. People had a way of not... No one really ever came out and said you're big. It's the look that people gave me, especially the HSCs, the ministers, you know, that look of... Even when you line up for food, we give you more. I have not asked you for more. Why are you asking me if you should give me more?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So it's the look, yeah. But mostly, I felt it in HSC actually because of those comments, the levers, then being in a mixed school. I think the girls in mixed schools feel it more than the ones in single-sex schools. Yeah.
Because of the presence of
The boys and the attention.
Yeah.
And the boys, I think, also liked the slimmer girls, at least at that time.
At that time, I think that one preferences.
Preference, maybe.
Men is preference.
Maybe.
Everyone has their own preference.
Everyone has their own
So by your senior 6, you have now it has clearly the psychological effect has been it has taken a psychological toll on you. Did you pass?
I did. It became my priority. I did not want to fail.
Yeah, so you passed.
The levers, I put everything aside and read. I did pass. Yeah.
But
Then
your
went to university.
things like self-esteem, was it how?
I don't know. I got the self-esteem issues in university.
In university, because as you said before, your people knew you for being loud. So I don't think you struggled with. Did you struggle with confidence?
I did not. I did not really be there, and I'm like, I don't love myself, or let me put myself in this shell because I'm big. I was really just a loud personality through and through. But I felt it started in university.
Okay, let's leave high school. Let's go to university. 3 years, 4 years at campus.
3 years.
3 years. So I'm guessing this is now a different ball game.
But for university, I felt like it came from my family mostly.
You know, this is now when the family started having a...
It's not like someone at university walked up to me and said, Dame, you're so fat.
Yeah.
No. My mom, I think that's when it hit her that she's out of school and she has still not lost the weight. So she started pushing. She started pushing me like, I don't think anyone is going to date you because you're so big. You're probably not having a boyfriend because you're big. So even me, I wasn't motivated to... Even if they came and approached me, I would be like, you know, before the relationship starts, I'm really actually not interested. So
this is straight into campus first year?
Straight into campus, starting from vacation. Like, she got it. Like, I think she started feeling it like, my God, she's still big.
Yeah, and
you know, that time the doctors were consoling her that with age, but now I'm in VAC and I'm getting obviously bigger in VAC. So I think it started hitting her that, you know, this girl could be big, and she also had diabetes.
Yeah.
She has diabetes and pressure. So I think it hit her that my girl could actually get these diseases if she didn't chop the weight. But how the approach was wrong. The approach was torturing to me. She could have actually said, you know what, let's embark on this health thing together. Because she was eating healthy because of her diseases. She was forced to change her diet.
Lifestyle.
I felt like she could have just said, why don't you eat like me, and we see where it goes.
Yeah.
But it was more of, which man is going to approach you with that weight?
Yeah.
So even when they approached me to date me, I'm like, I'm not interested.
But this was, how was your mind frame at that time? Because this is her telling you this, yet previously you had also craved the
No, you
attention.
start feeling like you're ugly. You start feeling like you don't look good. You're not looking good enough to even be approached for a date. So even if I was being approached, I did not want to go. Like, I stayed, I think for all the 3 years of my campus, I literally did not date until like the end.
This is like, because in your high school, you wanted the boys coming in. Then towards the end,
No, she made me think, like, there's no one going to approach you
Yeah.
genuinely because of
it was
your
like-
weight.
It was like confirming your darkest
Yeah,
fears.
it was like, they are not going to come because of you. You've got it. I was already feeling like,
Yeah.
I had the issue in HSC, and now she's very clear there's no one is going to marry you with that weight. I think she wanted me to lose it so badly, but the approach was bad. So she's like, who asked you out? Did even anyone ask you out? You're like, yeah, there's this guy, but Nale, that weight. So you even toast gas with a guy. You're like, why? Just leave me. I don't want, like, I'm not interested in going for a date with you.
Yeah.
She made it look like there was no one genuinely approaching me for me because of the weight. Maybe the smaller girls, yeah, but me, there is no way it's going to be love for my sake. It's maybe just because he wants to get into the pants,
Yeah.
but who is going to love you with that weight? So she started the weight thing. I got it from my family mostly. So she's like, then also my brother would look and like, he would see me from afar. He's like, ooh, have you looked at your tummy? I know. He's like, hey, Oba, you've added from the last time I saw. He last saw you last week. He's like, wait, have you seen? He even does like, have you seen your
The
tummy?
poking of the
Yeah,
tummy.
he pokes you like, yeah. Like, I look at now, this is my tummy. He's like, mama, it's big.
Yeah. Was it big as well, or?
It's not. I was big.
Yeah,
My
so
face
of
was big. My arms were big. The
Yours-
legs were big.
yeah.
Everything was big. But he was like, wait, tummy. He sat me down. He's like, when you have such a tummy, we say you have those Pirelli tires, city tires, Pirelli. That's
Yeah,
what you
the
have.
tires, yeah.
I was like, I started looking for the tires on myself.
You're not
I'm like,
seeing that, but now you started seeing them.
then mommy's like, he did not mean that. You see those folds, Nalon? Those are the tires he means.
The Makulde.
Yeah. The folds, those are the tires, guy. I mean, they are there. You need to lose the weight. So it was mostly from them. They tried to lose. At campus, I just slept on myself. I had a tough course. So I did not try to lose weight at campus. I just ate my way out. Like, I ate despite, like, their torture made me, I just continued to eat. I was not bothered.
So at this point, can we say it was clearly an eating disorder?
Like, I accepted it. Yeah,
It was an eating disorder.
it was.
Yeah.
I cannot say I ate the chips every day.
So, stating, obesity can lead to things like depression, anxiety. With the way your life must have been moving, and the fact that you chose to eat compulsively, do you think that was like a coping mechanism for I'm not happy?
I just gave up. I was like, why should I? Like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Also, people convince you that genetically you come from a big family. This is what you're never going to lose weight. Those are now my friends. You're not going to lose weight. This
We
is
have
who
seen
you
you
are.
like this,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've seen you like this. This is who you are. Accept who you are. So I accepted myself and I ate. I was like, of course, as with bad eating habits, there's something about bad eating habits. You could eat like one burger today, but because you're not giving your body the right nutrients,
Yeah.
it keeps craving so you keep adding another burger, then gets a little bit of the fiber, a little bit of the real good protein,
Yeah.
and then you add, like, it's something, like, let me say last year you could eat a plate of chips and burger. This year you're probably eating a plate of chips and 2 burgers. Like, it's something that keeps on,
Gradual.
yeah, it keeps
It's
getting
like
bigger.
tolerance in terms of food,
Yeah. So I really just ate my way through campus. I did not date. I was told I couldn't date because I was big. There's no one going to try me. At one point, we were seeing wedding pictures. And those olden pictures of weddings where the groomsmen carry the bride.
Yeah.
She came like, come here. Who is going to carry you? Won't you break these people's bones when they are busy? I felt it. I was like, yeah. I'll definitely. I thought I'm not going to pose like that. I'll just do other poses. I tell why. These are the poses for all brides. I'm like, I'm not going to stress anybody to carry me with, in that position. I will not stress the groomsmen. She's like, but even would they marry you with that size?
This is now the end of campus.
Yeah.
She started first year.
Will they marry
3 years down the
you?
road.
Yeah, it continued and I continued to eat and yeah. But then now after campus, I started now, slimming. I now started again to try. You never really give up with weight.
Yeah, it's a constant
It's something that you keep trying. Despite you giving up, then again you're like, I've heard, you hear slimming teas work. So you try them. You hear the slimming pills work. You try them. So then if there's a time someone came with supplements.
Yeah.
So mom is like, either you do driving school, and I think it was like 400 something, or I buy you these supplements that can help you lose weight. Guys, I'm like, you know what? I've struggled. And by the time the supplements guys have really assured you you're going to lose the weight.
Beginner cola.
Hey.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me do this once and for all. My God. I took the supplement. I couldn't. I didn't even manage a week.
They say they have those side effects. You went back for another session of dairy.
No. The supplement, they were not tasting good. Like I just got I did them for like 2 days. You're thinking, at least I've lost a kg. I went and weighed. It's like I had gained. I was like, I left the tins there. I left everything. She's like, my God, you have made me waste so much. I'm like, man, don't even remind me. I've also lost driving school. I could be learning how to drive right now. So yeah, that too. So that's what happened. I did not lose the weight. I gave up on the supplements. I continued with my eating until one time I saw someone I knew from social media, Twitter.
Yeah.
But now she was on Instagram. She posted a photo a before and after. So she's like, she put there, I've lost 30 kgs in 3 months, from 100 to 70. I'm like, how? How did you do it? I'm thinking she's going to tell me the teas. Let me prepare my money. I import the teas from South Africa. She's like, no, I had to change my entire lifestyle. Like, Debbie, I exercise for 1 hour a day. I don't take sugar. I don't eat fried food. I am not eating chips. I am not taking soda. Like, she told me all the don'ts, but she never told me what to eat.
Yeah.
So now, Google. I was Googling everything I put in my stomach. It's calorie. This was right after the first, like 1 year after.
Yeah.
The calories in the food, the fiber in the food, the fats, the carbs, fruits. I was Googling everything I put in. So, when I started, then the weight started
Reducing.
to go. Yeah. Eventually, and when you lose some, you're motivated to keep going. I did the workouts every single day. Yeah. I didn't even miss on a son. And I did not cheat for 1 day in 5 months. I just kept going. I reached somewhere. I became a little bit stagnant. Now I started working out twice a day. That's 2 hours a day. I pushed myself until actually I reached somewhere and I'm like, I think this is how girls of my age look. Let me stop here. So, and then I just maintained. Yeah. And then eventually I'm like, people, because they over asked me, Debbie, how did you lose the weight? When you tell them, they don't try.
This was 2015, you said 2015?
Yeah, I lost the weight in 2015.
2015, yeah.
So when they ask you, Debbie, how did you lose the weight? You tell them I did this and that. Why did all those things? I've been off sugar for like 3 years. I'm still not losing. So I noticed like they ask, you tell them the truth and they still don't try. So I was like, maybe if I charge them, they will try. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
So that's how I started my weight loss program. It was based on my whole experience with foods.
Yeah.
So basically what I did is what I tell people to, is what I teach people to do. And it was really the healthy way. I did not take any supplements. I did not take any pills. It was basically adjusting my lifestyle. What I ate, I replaced some foods with others. I ate more vegetables. I ate more fruits. I ate more fiber. I am active. I've been active since then. I've never stopped exercising. Yeah. So Yeah.
So 2015, when do you get married?
I didn't get married in 2015. I got pregnant in 2016.
In 2016.
So obviously I still piled on the weight.
Because you said you started, then you picked up momentum, then you stopped, then you decided to maintain. Then you got pregnant. This was after starting your company or before?
Before. I started after
giving birth.
After giving birth,
So-
like 1 year after.
So you get married?
No, I got pregnant
You got pregnant? Did you get married after?
after like 1 year after giving birth. Yeah,
So your weight at that time, was it, you gained weight? So the
I
process
gained
was
back.
that you gained back. You went
Yeah,
back to,
I went from like 60 to 80,
yeah.
and then I gave birth. And then when I gave birth, still I noticed the girls I gave birth with were looking slimmer, and I wasn't. So after like 2 months, I went on. Like I was like, I'm doing this. I have to lose all the weight.
Yeah.
I think I even lost way more than I lost the first time. So yes, I lost weight, although the good way, the healthy way. So I lost weight. I got married 1 year after the baby. I was already back to my shape. So yeah, that's when I got married.
Back to your physical shape?
Back to the normal.
So when you lost again,
And that's when,
Yeah.
1 year after is when I started my weight loss program. I was at home, I wasn't doing much. Then it clicked. People keep asking me, why don't I do this? And then I noticed people in Instagram, those outside people. Then you notice all the Americans charge to help. So I'm like, why don't I charge? Like, it doesn't kill.
so did your weight loss issues ever affect you during your marriage?
Actually, they didn't.
They didn't?
They didn't. But I've seen they affect my clients. That's where I've seen it. The weight did not affect
Yeah, because
me.
I'm trying to piece together.
Maybe it did, but people can be polite and not tell you.
Your own husband being polite, not telling you.
Like I dated when I was big.
He found you big.
Yeah.
So how did you
Then I lost
how did
the
you
weight.
jump from the mindset of I don't need a man. My mom has told me I may not get married. I mean, your darkest fears are coming into, they are really manifesting themselves. And here is this guy.
First of all,
Yeah.
this is what I thought. I didn't think it was possible to lose weight.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a healthy way to live life. That was one of the hindrances. Like that's one of the reasons I never ever lost weight.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that when you I didn't know that there's a life without
good
chips.
options,
I didn't know there was a life that there are people who don't even drink soda. I didn't know. But then when I asked this girl,
Yeah.
I was like, why don't I try? Why don't let me give it my all and fail? I was ready to fail anyway.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me give it my all, the way she did it. And then when I did not fail. Like I actually lost the weight.
So he was with you.
That's when I got the knowledge of actually you need to eat healthy. He was with me during that
from
time.
the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
He supported you 100%.
He did not believe me. I was like, I'm doing this weight loss thing.
For him, he was on the side of loving you for personality.
Yeah. He was actually on that side.
Not what you wanted to be loved
I
for.
don't know. Maybe he never. Of course, when I lost the weight, wow, you look good, obviously. Okay,
Because then there's a different package, different car from the one he bought.
yeah, it was different. And most people actually, when I lost the weight, they thought maybe I was sick.
Yeah.
There is no way people thought it's possible to lose that much. Like I went from 90 to 60. I was
the
way
pictures are
slimmer.
really tremendous, the change, yeah.
So everyone kept asking him like, is she sick? Do you think she's sick? Then he's like, no, actually, she has been telling me she's trying to lose weight. She has actually, it was unbelievable
To him as well.
that I had lost weight.
But he was a good support
But
system.
I realized that when we were dating, his friends used to be like, "Man, what the heck? Why are you dating this big person?" He just never used to tell me. It's just one time when I caught the friend telling him. Although for him, it didn't look unbothered. It was like, that's my choice,
That's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted. And actually, that's when I knew that I don't think it has anything to do with your size for someone to like you.
For love, eh?
I think it's more for yourself.
Yeah.
But then I've seen that it has. I mean, I've seen it among my clients that their men are torturing them for the weight.
So
Some of the men approach me on behalf of the wives to help. Like, man, she's out of she's shapeless. Help, like Chidi Bubi. I don't know how you know. Then they try to tell the wife, like, I've got for you someone, but because he's the one who is telling the wife, they're also not interested. So
So he was a very good support system for you going forward.
He was. He did not tell me, Debbie, you fat, I don't like you. He never even talked about my weight. I don't think he was bothered at all.
So it was must have been a very big change from family being against.
Actually, my mom was shocked that I had someone.
Yeah, because she must.
Because we dated for a while, then had the child, then got married. Yeah. She was shocked that I had someone who actually loved me. Like, she's like, wow, the guy loves you.
Yeah.
He didn't care that you're fat. She would ask, I'm like, he hasn't mentioned it.
Yeah.
So it was really just vibes and fun.
Vibes and fun. So 2016, you have your child. You got married in 2017.
2017.
This is 2021. The company started in 2017 as well?
Yeah, 2017.
2017. You have been on for 4 years now. How much growth have you seen? The impact of what you're doing to help these people that come to reach out to you?
So much, especially with the health.
Yeah.
There are some people who legit come with the pressure and the diabetes.
Yeah.
And you really, of course, there's that part where there's that stage where even if you lose weight and you got the diabetes and the pressure, it's not going to go. But then at least you can keep it under control. You're not going to be there and then get a diabetes attack or like a stroke out of nowhere. You keep the weight under control. And then others are told, if you do not do something about your weight, you're going to get pressure. Like, you're this close, you're at the border. Those ones too, so they don't get it at all. Then there are others with fertility issues.
Yeah.
Some women are told you're not able to get pregnant because you're big. Like, you're obese, you're big, you're overweight and all that stuff. Then the moment they change their eating habits, the moment even like after 1 month, she tells you, Debbie, I'm pregnant. But mostly it is the self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
It is, no one has even told her she's like, why you have diabetes or pressure or you're not fertile. It's, I cannot. Debbie, I am looking at myself and I am ugly. I hate it. I hate myself. I hate my weight. I have not taken a full picture in 2 years. It's just selfies on selfies. You even ask her, let me see her before and after. She's like, there is no before because I never took pictures. Like, full pictures, it's the marriage, the sex life is doing better because I've lost some weight. When you feel good about yourself, and then they get a lot of discipline because there's a lot of discipline in the journey.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
So, when you feel good, you're happier, you're able to, you can pass on the happiness to, let me say, your husband, your family. You are able to tell your entire household, you guys, I've noticed we never eat any greens. We are just basically meat, chips. Then you start introducing better eating habits to everyone. So it is very impactful. It is years after people are like, man, you don't know what you do. Like, keep going. You don't know what you've done for me. Like, I've been struggling. And most of them come like, I've tried. I have spent millions on pills. Some even import pills. They don't even buy locally. They import. I have tried juicing. I have lost like 10 kgs in 3 weeks only to gain back 20. So yes, it has been very impactful. Yeah. I'm so glad I'm able to do it.
So there's something most people don't like talking about, which is the term obesity. Because once obesity is described as basically being overweight. Overweight is just the subtle way of putting it because of the stigma that comes with the word obesity. But isn't that the reality most people live? Okay, now in this century right now, in the current prevailing conditions, wouldn't you also say you suffered the same?
It is, but the thing is, no one wants to accept it. Yeah. Like, you don't believe you're obese. Yeah. Even when they say it, you're like, no, I don't think it's that bad. Yeah. you keep consoling yourself that it's not that bad, but it is that bad.
Yeah. So is it
It can bring you, like, it brings a lot of health issues.
I think, is it just being in denial?
It is being in denial. Like, you're told you're best and you're like, no, I'm not that big.
Or they just do not want to be associated with a stereotype.
Even the word itself,
Yeah. Obese.
just, I think it just, with the mind, it just like, it puzzles you or whatever. No one wants to accept it. Not the word obesity, at least. Even the word overweight. They just, I've gained a little bit of kgs over time.
Yeah, so how do you break down? Because these are issues we're trying to address head on. And from your point of view, I think for you, now you know how more to relate with them, but it's more or less calling a spade a spade. And if someone is obese and fat, as they would say it, I think it would start by accepting your condition. Because
why you are.
Yeah, because like from your story, you actually had to first accept that, okay, I'm fat, I'm obese. Because the more you sugarcoat these conditions, I believe the more they can escalate to something much. You can actually sit back and decide not to work on it. So why not? Do you ever address? Because you shared with me you don't like addressing your conditions, your patient's conditions as obese and labeling them as overweight. But don't you believe that is? Don't you think that is somehow facilitating?
There's also a lot going on in society. There is this thing of accept your reality, and then there are these other people who love your body the way it is. As in, I want to be in between. I'm like, love the body, but I'm like, love it enough to feed it well.
I can be overweight, but I still love my body, but I just want it a certain way.
Exactly.
Because that's the reality most people face.
Yeah, but the truth also is they don't love their bodies.
Yeah.
It's just, that's why the whole thing is love your body. It's all there. They don't like it. No one wants to be big. There is no big person who is not trying to lose weight. I can guarantee.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yes.
But is it because they are taught to hate their bodies?
What they hear.
Because with all this new wave of feminism coming up and, social media, you find a very, very attractive woman. Like, she's not small. She has some weight on, but she looks really, really, really good. Like really, really good. And her problem is, I'm gaining weight. And you're looking at this woman, as gorgeous as she is, for you thinking this is the most flawless body I've seen, and she's telling you, I need to lose weight. Why is there so much pressure from the feminine side of things to conform to a certain? Do you believe it's a Western?
I do.
Centered?
I think I do. And I do. The worst thing is first of all, the Western guys, it's not like it's their natural bodies. And I don't even think we have the same bodies as they do.
Yeah.
They're actually artificially doing lipo. And then they also, like, my clients also come and put me on pressure. Like, how they can just reduce the stomach and then they stay with just the booty and the hips, or they even elevate the booty. And then someone is like, help me remove only the stomach. Let me stay with the booty. Those are the body goals. That's the body goals right now. And you're like, babe, you know what? There isn't any food that helps you lose the tummy, and it specifically chooses to leave your booty. Like, you need to lose the weight. The fat goes from where the fat is. If it's in the booty, if it's in the hips, the breast, like, it's going to go. Yeah. So I think social media is playing a very big...
Wow.
You even put yourself on pressure for nothing. Like, I can even post myself and someone's like, Debbie, it's as though you've gained weight. You see?
Yeah.
I was literally okay when I posted my picture. Then you come and tell me I've gained weight. So yeah, I think it's mostly social media. It's also there's a little bit of, pressure, and you're not good enough if you don't have this body, and then also so you start like, and then obesity, you don't want to even accept it.
There's so many beautiful girls out there that are just...
And it's also hard to accept because I'm assuming you are one of the little girls at school in secondary. You are small, you're metabolic, and all of a sudden you're gaining weight because you're not active and everything. So to even accept that, you'd be like, how did I get here? How the hell did I get here? So there's a lot of denial of the obesity. I don't know. I feel like as much as we should love ourselves, like, don't let yourself go until the doctor has to say, man,
Correct them.
Your health is bad. You need to lose weight. Don't wait for the doctor to come and say, if you don't do this, you're going to get high blood pressure. I feel like find a balance of eating healthy and enjoying yourself.
Yeah. So as we wind up, I want to ask you a few questions that I should have asked earlier. I want to understand, because when it comes to these kinds of things, especially, I'll call it a mode of recovery. Just like addicts recover from their illness. The discipline, I mean, there's that point where you went the first 5 months and you're giving it 5 months consistently. What motivated you? I mean, what kept you going? Because
I just wanted to try, but I was also mentally ready. Let me tell you, weight loss is more mentally draining than physical. Like, what should I say? It is mental. You need a lot of mental stability. You need to be in the right mind. The moment you're on a weight loss journey and you hear your man has cheated, they always fall off. I get those clients where, let me say, your mind has cheated, or you're on the weight loss journey and then your friends come and say, man, you're on weight loss, you're doing Debbie Fit, but you've gained like 5 kgs from the last time I saw it mentally. Right? And even the food, looking at it and not being able to eat it, the temptation is so mentally draining. So if you're not in the right mind, let me say you're having some stress issues, you're not mentally ready. Even my clients can be like, Debbie, as I enter these, are there equipments I need? Are there, special? I'm like, no, get your mind ready. If you're not mentally ready, I think out of the 100% who sign up, I have success with 60%. The other 40% fails because they are not mentally in that space to actually put in the work and have the discipline. It needs a lot of discipline. Yeah. So mentally, it needs someone to be ready. If you're not mentally ready, do not try it. If you're having marital issues, don't. If you're having any kind of stress at work, you're not going to manage. You need to be in the right state of mind to concentrate on this. It's something, there's a lot of unlearning you need to do. Like, you change your entire lifestyle. You stop, even your entire food changes, and then you start eating these things. And then sometimes you're the only big one at home. The rest are slim, they are young. Let me say your mom, your child is taking yogurt, she's eating cake, she's eating sweets, and you, on the other hand, you're eating the natural sweets of fruits, vegetables, So mentally, it is very draining. You need to be very disciplined.
So going forward, let's first have a word to the older millennials and the younger generation. To all those young girls out there that they're getting bombarded by social media and feel insecure in their bodies. Not only the girls though, because men as well feel insecure about their weight, but it's a topic for another day because it's rarely talked about. What do you have to say to such people to stay online? And the better alternative, just like you growing up, you didn't have alternatives and knowledge about, I can lose weight just by feeding. I don't have to take slimming teas and diet forever. What message do you have for those
I tell people
girls out there
to take
that are under
the
pressure?
break from social media. Do not let social media people influence. Don't be there and look at the body and be like, that's the body I want.
Not just social media, but also people getting backlash from family, from friends. How can they quieten the noise and focus on who they are in the moment?
No, I feel like I said, I don't think there's one big person who is not trying to lose weight. If you feel your weight is affecting you, do something about it. Literally stop eating badly and do something about it. It's good for your health. Do something right. That's the best you can do for your body. It's not really the body goals, the bikini body. It's just be healthy for yourself. Do it for yourself. If you feel it bothers you, if you feel like you look at your thighs and you're bothered, you don't like the way you look, you lose the weight. Try and put in the work and lose weight the natural way. But the noise is always going to be there. The moment you step out of the house, even if it's not from at home, I feel like you can I feel like then I could have set my boundaries. Because ultimately, it's not because of my mom pushing me that made me lose weight. I woke up and I started it. Even her, she was shocked. She's like, I don't know what entered Debbie's mind, but she eats like this and look at how much she has lost. It's not someone to push you. someone has never been there and pushed me and I've done it. So I feel like at home, set your boundaries because that's in your control. You have to tell your people, like, stop it. I don't like it. It affects me. Stop it.
Yeah.
Do not tell me I'm fat. I know the border guys, those ones you can't control. And if you have friends who are going to always be there giving you that negative energy, you don't have to meet them. Why would you meet someone who makes you sad? You get? You don't have to hang out with them. You can literally hang out with people who are positive. Yeah, but also I'm saying if you have an issue with your weight, you feel you're uncomfortable with it, do something about it. But then if there is negative energy around you and it's in your control, you can shut it up.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's been such a lovely conversation. We're going to sign this off. Thank you so much for tuning in, people. Please subscribe, like, comment. Put in the hard work, just like Debbie has said. You will not regret it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay.
It numbs you, a nightmare, a horrible disease. These are just a few of the ways people have described mental illness in their lives, whether it's you, your child, or a friend. Mental illness impacts all of us in the same ways, and that's why the Mind Space podcast is committed to uncovering mental illness and the impact it has.